The first rule of clown hunting is no laughing. Hello to another short story. Today... Oh wait, first, a disclaimer. Today I have yet another original story for you. The story was written by Nicholas Leonard and is titled 20 Centimeters of Clown, a title that immediately gripped my attention, and I was not disappointed. This story takes us back to Lynn, Massachusetts. You might know this place from Nick's story, The Vampire Queen of Pine Grove Cemetery, and you can find the link to my reading of the story up there somewhere, and of course down in the description, alongside links to more of my readings of Nicholas' work and links to readings on other YouTube channels. 20 Centimeters of Clown is a story about two hunters who couldn't be any more different. Two hunters and their prey that, well, is also rather unusual. I have to say that this is one of the funniest, if not the funniest stories I have read in the last few months. There might be a video with outtakes of this reading sometime soon. Enough rambling, lean back, relax, maybe grab a cup of cocoa with marshmallows and follow me once more to Lynn, Massachusetts with this reading of 20 Centimeters of Clown by Nick Leonard. Everybody was alarmed about the epidemic of clown sightings throughout the country. Everybody except Melody Churkova. The autumn of 2016 didn't bring forth a sinister strain of influenza, but brought forth a swarm of men in clown costumes who went around chasing and scaring people. Some stores actually ceased the sale of clown masks. Some schools had cancelled after-school activities. Football teams were forced to practice inside the gymnasium. There was even a clown sighted on the local golf course in Melody's town of Lynn, Massachusetts. The clown emerged out of Linwood's reservation and onto the green of Gannon Golf Course in Lynn and proceeded to charge at a party of silver-haired men in polo shirts with cigars in their mouths. How confused they were, for the clown was not wearing appropriate golf attire. It showed a mouthful of fangs while its curly red hair bounced in accordance with its charge. The golfers dispersed in different directions, some diving into the golf cart, one making a vain attempt to fit himself inside the second hole, while another peed his trousers. Onlookers had reported this while watching from the safety of the club. The clown's giggle travelled across the green as it ran back into the tree line of Lynn Woods. On the night of October 21st, 2016, Melody Churkova was strutting down the side of a dozy road in a lesser populated part of New England, and she was cold. She didn't have any pants on, only black panties and transparent stockings that went up above the knee. The autumn night was sowing goosebumps into her bare thighs, which jiggled ever so slightly while she walked, tapping the pavement with her high heels. Technically she was wearing a skirt, but it acted more so as a shirt, barely falling down past her belly. The skirt was an extension to a black crop top that had silver buttons in it. Yes, Melody was out, trying to attract a clown. The streetlights, which were being cast down like the headlights of Roswell UFOs, made Melody's beige-colored skin seem tanner and also accentuated the goosebumps on her bare shoulders. She kept looking over her shoulder, but all she saw was the row of streetlights along the expanse of malnourished woods. Not even mosquitoes swarmed beneath every streetlight. Between the woods and the road there ran one of those foot-high stone walls that New England is stitched up with. She kept looking into the woods, the short stone wall making her feel taller than she was, and she saw no organs in the skeleton trees. She reached into her purse and retrieved a bicycle horn. She held it lackadaisically over her shoulder and honked it. The honk echoed down the street with the night, perverting its echo. She stopped honking the bicycle horn the instant she heard a twig breaking from the cavities of the tree-lined smile. She gulped, the muscles in her throat working like a car brake. She came to a stop. She looked ahead. She was ready, but also nervous. She felt her chest undulating with the quickening of her breath. Another twig broke. Already she was wondering what color hair the clown would have, if it would be wearing makeup or a mask. Oh, she hoped it was a clown wearing white makeup. Her excitement deflated like a balloon. A dirty old farmer was creeping out of the tree line, stepping over the little stone wall with his double-barrel shotgun at his hip. The way his mouth concaved on itself suggested that he didn't have all of his teeth. He wore denim overalls over a beige and brown checkered shirt. The top of his head was bald and reflected the streetlights, but hedges of silver wool poofed out behind his ears. Melody batted her eyes while the old farmer crept out onto the street. "I heard ya, you damn dirty clown!" The farmer sneered into the darkness on the side of the street. He hadn't seen Melody yet, but he certainly heard her bicycle horn. An important detail to note about the farmer was that he was smaller than Melody. Melody was in heels, and the farmer might have been around 5'2". She wasn't sure if it was safe to approach him because he had a gun, and he also appeared disheveled. "Where are you?" he sneered, swiveling in place. His demeanor flattened when he saw Melody. She was not a clown. "Young lady," the farmer croaked, "what are you doing out here?" "Oh, just walking," Melody said, sounding like a damsel. "What are you doing, mister?" "I'm hunting these damn clowns," he sneered. Melody raised a brow. "Did you hear that clown horn they were honking out here?" he asked. "That was me." "What?" The farmer exploded. "What are you honking that out here for?" Melody's body recoiled as a giggle ran through it. I'm trying to attract a clown." She rolled her eyes. "What are you trying to do that for?" The way that Melody paused should have been enough of an answer for the farmer, for Melody's damsel in distress facade was corrupted by a guilty expression. Still, the farmer wasn't connecting the dots. "And what are you dressed like that for, young lady? Don't you know it ain't awfully warm tonight?" "I know, but no clown's gonna want a girl who doesn't slay." The farmer was frozen in confusion for a few seconds. "You got a thing for clowns, young lady?" the farmer asked with disappointment already in his voice. To this, Melody gave a ditzy kind of shrug. The farmer sighed. "Anyways, what's your name, young lady? I gotta get you home." "Melody, and you don't have to get me home," she said, paused, and asked only out of politeness. "What's your name?" "I'm Morris, the clown hunter," he said proudly. "Have you caught any yet?" Melody asked, to which the farmer shook his head no. "Although I seen one creepin' through my pumpkin patch," Morris exclaimed. "And?" Melody said, eyeing Morris's shotgun. "Do you intend to shoot one?" "I intend to catch the damn dirty clown who was creeping through my pumpkin patch. My cat Ursula was growling at the window at 4 this morning. Nobody disturbs my Ursula, especially no damn dirty clown." "I'm looking for the dirty ones too," Melody said. "The first rule of clown hunting is no laughing," Morris said, while the two of them crept through the crooked woods. Melody held the flashlight, and Morris held the shotgun, with the both of them being very mindful of how their feet crunched down on the dead leaves. His breath smelled of cough drops and good Irish whiskey, but he wasn't slurring his words at all. "Then there's the second rule. Never wave back at them. Rule 3. Do not accept a balloon animal or flower from them. Rule 4 is don't comfort the sad clowns. They're only looking for your pity. They are faking it. They want to let your guard down." "Morris," Melody said, rolling her eyes, "I know all of this already." "What's Rule 7, then?" Melody made a lucky guess. "Never go clown hunting alone." "Which is why you have a lot of explaining to do, young lady," Morris exclaimed. "I can do it, 'cause I'm older, but a young lady like yourself shouldn't be out here clown hunting all alone." "Tell me, Morris, how do you track a clown?" "Well, you can often find them at playgrounds after dark when all the kiddies go home," Morris explained. "That's why I'm leading us to the playground by the woods, right beyond the tree line out there." They chanced upon this playground after the walk in the woods continued. Melody's flashlight shone forward, but seemed to be shunned by the brown and rusting playground. The rusty slide, the pillars of the monkey bars, the swing set that creaked in the wheezing autumn breeze was all so disgusted by the premise of Melody's flashlight. Still, the pair tiptoed onto the mulch. Morris sniffed the air. He cranked his head up and turned it slowly. Melody gasped. "I should have thought of coming here." Morris ignored her and crept forward. He walked his shotgun as his face cringed in the darkness. Because of how hard he was concentrating, he didn't notice Melody starting to swing on the pole that held up the swing set. She pole danced in the residue of the streetlights that glowed ever so weakly from the parking lot. She didn't care how cold the pole was on her bare thigh. She hooked wrapped her leg around the pole and twirled while the swing on the swing set creaked. Morris crept himself into a trance. His shotgun seemed to lose its power in his hands as he crept across the mulch towards a parking lot that had no clowns. He was unaware that Melody was pole dancing behind him. "There's no clowns here," he muttered to himself. Morris found no clowns after walking the perimeter of the playground parking lot. He even gave the mud surrounding the cement an eye the Greek fates would have envied, and still he found no clown tracks. Tired from pole dancing, Melody rejoined him, and the two continued on. Morris carried the gun, and Melody carried her ass. She was enunciating that part of her body while she walked, and Morris lacked an ass himself. He was wearing those overalls anyway, so it didn't matter. They entered another woods. "I'm never gonna get a clown." Melody stomped her foot. This made Morris pause. His mouth was recalculating how many teeth it had left before he spoke. "No, there's no reason to get upset, young lady. Nobody catches a damn dirty clown on their first day." He smacked his lips and waddled over to his partner. She was grimacing. She was pouting the way that only celebrities can pout. She was so upset that she didn't flinch when the farmer put his sandpaper hand on her shoulder. "It's all right, young lady," he insisted. "These damn dirty clowns are sneaky bastards, you know. In fact, I think you're brave even for coming out. It's nice to see young folks invested in keeping their community safe." Morris was giving Melody a sincere expression. He wanted her to be okay, but she either didn't see his sympathetic look or she didn't care. She looked up at the ceiling of prickly branches, as if the branches lied to her. She had shaved her legs for this. She felt down, disappointed, betrayed, rejected by the clowns. "I tell you what," Morris stammered. "You and we're gonna catch ourselves one of those damn dirty clowns." Melody was too agitated to acknowledge him. She had folded her arms and kept her gaze attentively on the branches above. "I just want a clown." Melody's voice shook defeatedly. Morris wanted to say something to console her, but his tongue and lips were once again recalculating how many teeth he had left. All he could do was escort her throughout the barren woods. They cleared the skeleton of an old house in the woods, only finding cobwebs and rocking chairs that hadn't been sat on for hundreds of years. And their legs could have told stories of times when witches supposedly existed. Melody didn't care what the grandmother rocking chairs had to say about witches. She only cared about the clowns. She wanted a clown. She needed a clown. She needed a dark, twisted serial killer clown to come and dominate her. She didn't care if it was right in front of the farmer. She just needed it. And there were no clowns in sight. "Slow down, little child," Morris regretfully ordered. He put his hand on her shoulder again. There was defeat in her face, and concern in his. They walked back to Morris's pumpkin patch, and he showed her the clown tracks that zigzagged between the pumpkins. He pointed out each footprint with his shotgun, and every footprint represented one giant clown shoe. This seemed to only make Melody sadder, though. Seeing this, and seeing the long expression falling on Melody's face, Morris offered to make her a cup of hot cocoa. "Come on in and warm up," Morris said, with all his teeth. Melody followed him into the shack beside the pumpkin patch, which Morris casually called his farmhouse. It smelled like mold and mothballs, and seemed in no better shape than that house in the woods. The kitchen had a window that looked out on the pumpkin patch. It was only out of politeness that Melody asked if Morris ran a good business selling his pumpkins. He went through the politics of pumpkins while preparing 2 cups of hot cocoa, pausing to ask, "Fluff or marshmallows?" "Both," Melody cooed dreamingly. The fluff that bobbed atop the hot cocoa reminded her of white clown makeup, and it made her wonderfully sad. Morris had a funny way of consuming hot cocoa. It injected a Botox of delight into him, and his face went cartoonish with glee. It made his eyes pop. He licked his lips after every sip. "Are you warm enough, young lady?" he asked, unaware about the brush stroke of fluff atop his lip. "Yes," Melody giggled. Well, no clowns tiptoed through Morris's pumpkin patch that night. The sun did come up unexpectedly, though, and Morris made breakfast for the 2 of them. Melody offered to do the dishes, and Morris offered to drive her home afterwards. They got into Morris's rusty pickup truck. The chickadees were chirping songs of condolence to Melody. Melody had come to find the smell of mold, mothballs, and cough drops endearing, and she was glad that the pickup truck smelled like that as well. Morris was a good old man, who had good old man smells about him. She tried taking it all in, while she helped navigate Morris down the highway and into the suburbs, where people were raking leaves and walking their dogs. "And you take a right down here," Melody said. Morris did so, bringing the truck down another quaint street. "And you're gonna keep going straight past that church." "All right, young lady," Morris said, speaking to keep his teeth in order and not just speaking to speak. "Wait!" Melody cried. Morris stopped the truck in the middle of the street. He saw it too. Their faces awed behind the windshield as they watched Misfit, the birthday clown, walk across the lawn and into the backyard of somebody's house. The sound of children crying erupted when the clown disappeared into the backyard. Neither Morris or Melody had to speak. They unbuckled and the truck's doors bursted open. Morris grabbed his double-barrel shotgun and Melody ran her hands down her outfit, smoothing out any wrinkle. She looked down at her cleavage while Morris checked to see if his shotgun was loaded. It was, so he clicked it back up and the 2 hurried over to the house the clown disappeared behind. Morris walked as if his shotgun was leading the way, and Melody walking as if her body was leading the way. They walked right over the lawn as the sound of children cheering and speaking over each other filled the morning. Little Jimmy's parents thought they only had ordered a clown for their son's 7th birthday, so they and the other adults never expected to see a short, grungy-looking farmer with a gun and a scantily dressed dominatrix appear in their backyard. The kids were all sitting on the grass and watching Misfit the birthday clown tie a balloon animal when Morris and Melody bursted into the backyard. The adults gasped. The children screamed, the little girls in terror and the little boys in confusion. Tears had already started flowing when Morris pointed his shotgun right at Misfit, the birthday clown. "Put 'em up, you damn dirty clown, or else I pop you like a balloon," Morris sneered. "Mr. Clown! Oh, Mr. Clown!" Melody threw her pleading voice into the air. She jumped in place. The children started flocking towards their parents while Misfit the birthday clown scrambled into the house. There was a pleading "No" from a mother that went ignored. Melody and Morris followed Misfit the birthday clown into the house. How uncoordinated the clown ran. It was difficult to run in oversized shoes. "Come here, Mr. Clown," Melody called throughout the chase. "Come here." "Get back here, you damn dirty clown," Morris howled. Misfit the birthday clown bursted out the front door and onto the front yard. Morris fired and missed, a round of buckshot going into somebody's car. Melody shimmied through the smell of smoke. It was difficult for her to run too, because she was trying to keep her bits and pieces from falling out. "Clown, look at me!" she cried as Misfit the birthday clown got into his car. Melody banged on the door, but the car sped away. Morris ran into the middle of the street and fired as the car's tires screeched away. So the pair stood there as the children cried. It wasn't long before the sound of sirens came. Melody was catching her breath while she could smell the farmer's cough drop breath working in overdrive as well. They looked and watched the clown escape, for it was all they could do as the flashing blue and red lights appeared behind them. Farmer, rah, 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 rah. "Where are you?" "Do you intend to shoot one?" "I intend to catch the damn dirty clown who was creeping through my pumpkin patch. My cat Ursula was growling at the window at 4 this morning. Nobody disturbs my Ursula, especially no damn dirty..." "I intend to catch the damn dirty clown who was creeping through my pumpkin patch. My cat Ursula was growling at the window at 4 this morning. Nobody disturbs my Ursula, especially no damn dirty clown." "I'm looking for the dirty ones too." "I'm looking for the dirty ones too." She didn't care if it was right in front of the farmer. She just needed it. And there were no clowns in sight. The first rule of clown hunting is no laughing. The first rule of clown hunting is no laughing. I couldn't hunt a clown.